Yo, what's up, guys? This is Why Not Be Reckless, aka Why Not Be Casty. I'm one of the HCS commentators, and we have another HCS weekly report where today and every day leading up until Dreamhack Dallas, we're going to be breaking down a team that are part of the 16 teams that are invited to the HCS Global Invitational. So far, we've done every single team up until this point, and there's only one more left, and that's your number one seed in Spacestation Gaming. But before we get started with the video, I gotta ask the question of the day, and it's Spacestation Gaming. Quiet assassins always kind of flying under the radar. So my question for you guys is, do you have any one of the players on SSG within your top 5 players HCS? I'll even take it one step further. Do you have any one of them in your top 3? Number one seed right now, it kind of makes sense that you'd have at least one of them in the top 5, maybe one of them in the top 3. Let me know in the comments down below who you guys have. And now let's get started with the video. Spacestation Gaming, number 3 in HCS points, but came out and did the damn thing during the final phase 4K / Dreamhack Dallas qualifier. Not only winning that tournament, not only taking the number 1 seed versus against Optic Gaming, who were a little upset that they made it a little bit public. Spacestation Gaming trolling that, by the way. But I feel like on top of that, sent a bit of a message to the rest of the league saying, the moment you forget about us is the moment we come out of nowhere, surprise y'all. And that's exactly what Spacestation Gaming have been doing over the last couple of weeks. Why don't we jump right into it? But before we get there, Pool A, Spacestation Gaming, Avengers, Shopify Rebellion, and Vertex. When I look at the team of Spacestation Gaming, I feel like Stella might be one of the best overall player in the game. Penguin is an objective savant. Is that a word? Savants? I'm gonna go with it. Savant sounds right. And when he gets hot, the man can slay. Eco, Frosty has referred to him as the smartest player in the game. Leader in IGL. He's damn good. And then Bound, not only an incredible shot, but the master of mechanics, the way he's able to flow across the map is not only amazing and fun to watch, but on top of that, so hard to time. I think Spacestation Gaming are kind of the full package: teamwork, aggression, objective efficiency. So when I look at their pools, Avengers are good. They really are. Avengers are going to surprise some people. But I think SSG they have a little bit too much coordination. They're a little too good. And it's funny because I have Avengers beating out Shopify Rebellion in this pool, but I have Rebellion having a better chance of beating Spacestation Gaming within their pool, which I know sounds weird, but I feel like Shopify Rebellion have a little bit of, have that swagger about them. They have, been there, done that mentality. They're obviously well prepared. Like I feel like I give Rebellion a better chance of beating Spacestation Gaming than Avengers, even though I think Avengers would beat Shopify Rebellion in pool play. I know it sounds weird, but I'm a weird guy. Shut up. We talked about a lot of teams having a bit of an up and down since Charlotte, and Spacestation Gaming, I would say, like Optic, are one of those teams. If anything, FaZe has been the only one that have been, consistent over the last 3 tournaments, getting top 3 in every single one of them, because you're seeing that Spacestation Gaming in the first 4K getting top 6. For just like we said with Optic Gaming. For two teams that are powerhouses and the leaders of the league, top 6, in my opinion, is unacceptable. And I truly believe if you ask them, they would probably say the same thing. In pool play, Spacestation Gaming did run into complexity, and mind you, complexity, once they got formed, you know, not only just the honeymoon stage, but as of right now, the marriage is thriving. They joint bank accounts. They're multi-millionaires. They're they just bought a house on a beach. Like, their marriage is looking good. It ain't just a honeymoon phase for complexity. At least it doesn't look that way online, because not only did they beat Optic Gaming, but they also beat Spacestation Gaming in pool play 3-1. That's important. Spacestation Gaming 3-1 status quo, but then eventually G1 3-1 Spacestation Gaming. So when Spacestation Gaming went into championship bracket, because they finished as the 3rd seed in pools, they went into championship bracket in the lower bracket and had to fight through Proton Gaming, had to fight through Avengers, and then ran into G1 again, with G1 going through their own honeymoon phase, with bringing in Suppressed, who has been lights out for the team, but was especially lights out during their first tournament. And G1 not only beating Spacestation Gaming in pool play, but also 3-2ing them in the losers bracket, knocking them out of this tournament, giving them that top 6 finish that we just talked about. Spacestation Gaming bounced back. Same with Optic. 2 teams that got top 6 during the first 4K are the same 2 teams that during the 2K right afterwards, a little bit over a week later, got first and second and made it back to the grand finals. Spacestation Gaming 3-1 phase, the winner of that event. Optic 3-0'd Spacestation Gaming to knock them into the elimination bracket. It seems like when Optic do go up against the top 3, it seems like they have a little bit of an advantage. I feel like when, at least I should say, at least in the winners finals, I forgot, actually. I'm gonna take that back, because I forgot that FaZe 3-0'd them in that round 1. I almost forgot. It didn't happen during the winners finals, so I was like, oh snap, and it didn't happen at all. But FaZe did 3-0, so I'm gonna immediately take that back. But either way, Optic Gaming did have the best of Spacestation Gaming during this winners bracket finals, knocking Spacestation Gaming down to the lower bracket. Luckily for Spacestation Gaming, all they had to do was win 1 more series to make it back into the grand finals. And after 3-1ing FaZe early on in the winners bracket, Spacestation Gaming must have felt pretty confident going up against FaZe again, because this time it wasn't a 3-1. This time it was a 3-0, a sweep. Spacestation Gaming knocking FaZe out in that 3rd place spot, getting their spot back into the grand finals, but once again being knocked down a peg by Optic Gaming, because Optic were your winners. SSG coming out in second. Then came the final 4K, the Dreamhack Dallas qualifier phases event with an elevated prize pool. Spacestation Gaming, like they're out for a little bit of blood. They remembered back then that FaZe took the SSG snow down. FaZe beat Spacestation Gaming at their own tournament, so it seemed like Spacestation Gaming wanted to return the favor, because eventually Spacestation Gaming not only becoming the champions of this tournament, but beating out FaZe in their own tournament in the grand finals. But before we get there, 3-0 against G1, 3-0 against Complexity, 3-1 against FaZe. Spacestation Gaming only dropping 1 game on their way to the grand finals. And then when they get there, again, FaZe might have taken the SSG snow down. FaZe was in Space Station's house over in Salt Lake City, Utah, with their feet up. I was there, feet up and everything. Disrespectful. They walked into the door, opened up the fridge without even saying hello to the homeowners, acting like they owned the place. The Space Station Gaming get their revenge 4-0 in the grand finals against FaZe during their own tournament, where Spacestation Gaming come out with the winner, come out as the winners. FaZe might have been the most consistent over the last 3 tournaments, but Spacestation Gaming, in my opinion, has looked the best out of the top 3 late into going into LAN. And I feel like that's momentum, in my opinion. You know, Optic might be out for revenge. That's cool. That's fine and dandy. They're going to be determined, going to be motivated, going to be dangerous. FaZe have looked strong as well and been more consistent because it's in the top 3 out of all 3 tournaments. They never underperformed during either one of the online tournaments. But for me, Spacestation Gaming have looked the best late. I don't care how you start. For me, it's about how you finish. And Spacestation Gaming have looked the best out of the top 3 going into Dreamhack Dallas. And since May 13th, dominant wins over Complexity, dominant wins over both the native squads, even 8-3 FaZe, which was pretty surprising in my opinion. A real joust with G1. That must have been a good scrim to watch. 8-6 over G1. Another dominant win over Native Red. And what the hell happened here? Well, Quadrant. Again, Quadrant boot camping early here in America. They're already here, coming over from across the pond. Number 1 team in Europe, coming out with the 6-5 win in scrims over Spacestation Gaming. And I know you guys are sitting there talking about, it's just scrims. It doesn't matter. I'm going to say that I think that's impressive. Let's not forget that, you know, Quadrant back in Charlotte did not have their, just like Native Red, did not have their full starting lineup. They have Chick, who is not only a damn good player, but also speaks French. When, to my knowledge, when 2Foxy was playing under Quadrant, Quadrant continued to call out in French. 2Foxy, I don't know what his French is like. Maybe he speaks a little bit. Maybe he understands, you know, red base and blue base. But I mean, I don't know. Now you have a dominant slayer, dominant player who speaks the language that they're calling out in, competing. Quadrant, you get the best of Spacestation Gaming, who I literally just said looked the best out of the top 3. That to me is impressive. Talk about them during another video. Either way, Spacestation Gaming have been on a roll, and with Dreamhack, literally, Dreamhack literally less than a week away, maybe SSG can take it. Let me know in the comments down below if you're a true believer in Spacestation Gaming. Yeah, that's gonna be it. That's HCS Weekly Report. Thank you so much. And if you guys like this kind of content, please let me know in the comments down below. Please like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and make sure you guys are following the Twitch channel. Anytime we do these videos, we do them live on Twitch first, then they get uploaded to YouTube a day or 2 later. So if you want to be in the know-how now, as opposed to later, make sure you're following the Twitch and have that notification bell turned on both. All right, guys. Peace out.